Hello people, this is Ryder here with a review of the Kamen Rider Geats DX Spider Phone. So this is the annual phone toy of Ryder toy lines. But like Revice, this one actually has a purpose. So here we have Geats Magnum Boost with the Spider Phone that's just clearly the same one from down here. Yeah, it becomes a spider for some reason. I don't know why, but alright. You can put in the desire driver, so that's obviously a reason why you have to get it. Contents, the PDF file QR code was really large, and just the context overview of everything it can do. I forgot to state, I really like the background for the back of the boxes. So here we have the Spider Phone out of the box. And as you can see here, it's a really simplistic phone, which I appreciate because I think I've already stated I was really tired of when they made the phones the vehicles. So I'm really glad that since Revice they've been just back to just basic phones. This one especially, I don't know if I think it's supposed to be a touchscreen phone. Obviously in the show this is an entire screen, but here it's just a really weird segmented home screen. So there's that. And then here is the Geats Rider symbol. However, in the show they actually do have unique, like each phone is actually like has each rider's specific like rider mark. So like it would have been cool if they're like, I mean you can get customs, but I mean like we'll get to it later. The back of the phone is pretty hollow. But I mean, like, I think it's a fine shell. But you can see the pull tab right here, QR code for Gambarizing, and the track 004, and the reset button. Because this is technically our first toy that makes its own sounds. So, yeah, we'll just go through that. So basically, if you press this button, it doesn't do anything. This is for the desire driver. But if you press the DGP button, this is where we get our sounds. So basically this first mode, I don't know what it's called, but basically this is like the DGP mode. So if we were to press it, obviously because it's a phone toy, it's quiet. So we're actually going to have to go through 12 of these sounds, and they're basically in different varieties, so we just went through the mission clear sounds. So the first two sounds are always going to be the same, to which we will skip this for now. Because that just happens every time you actually activate the phone. So basically the first three sounds are always the same. 5. So it's basically the fourth sound that's different. So basically, before this starts beeping, basically the way the sounds are sectioned off is the first 5 sets is mission clear, second set is mission failed, and then third set is secret mission clear, and the fourth one is secret mission fail. And then if we hold down the DGP button, we enter phrase mode, to which I think it's about 12 phrases, or 10 to 12 phrases from Surumi and Ace. That was the first of that. I'm pretty sure that's the last one. That one was the last one. So just cycle through those phrases, and if you let this sit for a while, it's pretty quick, like 15 seconds, 15 to 20. It will start ringing, and then basically to answer, just press the DGP button. And that one is actually the second phrase when you let this sit, which I didn't realize that it actually cycled through 2 phrases, because basically Ace is just, I think it's basically a fortune thing of like, oh yeah, you're gonna be lucky, which is the one we got earlier, but then the one we got now is, well, us being unlucky. And if we hold the button down, we enter back into the DGP mode, I guess, which then leads us to our last mode, to spider mode. So we want to spread these last 2 sections out, and then you want to spread the top like so, and then twist the top of the phone like so to get spider mode. And obviously the volume heavily increases. I think the spider's neat overall. I just don't know why they went with a spider. I guess because Boost Striker is already a fox, so I guess a spider is neutral. But again, this button still doesn't do anything. But now we have 8 more sounds within this mode.
Spidernet. Search.
And that's it.
Spidernet. Search.
Yeah. So basically, this just is supposed to assist you in getting items or whatever. I don't know. I haven't watched the show. And you can't hold down or anything. And basically, I think it's one of these. I think it's this one that changes modes. Yeah. So, just basically, you don't want to have those sounds. Just simply open this up. I get why they always do, like, they always have this way of switching modes. But honestly, I kind of would have preferred if they actually, just when they do these things, they force you to actually close up both, just for equality's sake. But yeah, we actually are gonna, we actually have to leave in Spire mode for what we're gonna do later. So, as obviously this thing has a track, so this thing is compatible with the Desire driver. You don't have to leave it into spider mode, because you can do this in phone mode. It's just, they obviously made this, designed it to be in spider mode. Are you serious? So, you want to press the blue button now, because now that actually has a purpose, as that presses the button down there. So we get a white LED, and then we just get a simple mission start. Basically, the reason why they want you to do it in spider mode is if you did it in phone mode and then activated a button, it's gonna go off. But I'm just gonna show you can use this in phone mode alongside if whenever you use this with other buckles. So we will use boost. When we actually activate boost, it actually doesn't start it right away as it would most of the time. Which is pretty interesting. And then if we did that, so the spider phone is uniquely programmed to basically kind of overwrite whatever buckle is attached to it and such. And immediately, like this one immediately ignores the numbering, because if this was like a normal raised buckle, it wouldn't have like acknowledged it being first. So again, we'll just use Magnum. So if I were to like spin it, it doesn't acknowledge it. It waits for you to press the spider phone. Which I think is really interesting, and honestly what I would have preferred with the Desire driver. Because then I forgot to mention that. Basically, if you were to press this button and you try to do anything, it'll just cancel whatever you were doing. Like, again, if I were to use this on this side, it still just, you know, overwrites basically. Not necessarily overwrites, but it basically just gets rid of the ability. It just nullifies any other buckle you use with it, which is pretty interesting. Spider phone, of course, works in the Magnum shooter. With the white LED. Again, just simply press this. Plus, it actually reads it as spider phone, unlike in the Desire driver, which is really cool. So yeah, we're gonna have to reset this so then it doesn't play or it doesn't ring. But yeah, overall, I really like this thing. Like, I like just how more they're actually trying to make these things just be phones instead of like trying to force in another like bike into it, because honestly it just kind of makes it like, I get that they really want to sell these things, but like I would rather prefer if they were just their own thing for the most part, and then be whatever the secondary mode is and such. Like, I mean, I could have done without the secondary mode, but I mean, I kind of prefer the spider mode. I think the spider mode's pretty neat, because I forgot the gun to phone 50 was a gun. It also just helps that this thing can actually be used within the Desire Driver, so it's basically like a Ride Striker and Rise Hopper and Diego Speedy situation. Because I forgot about those. I forgot about Diego Speedy, but I mean, I'll kind of put this in par with the Ride Striker, but I mean I think it's more interesting. I mean, technically, it's more on par with the Fi's Phone 10. Technically, sorry. It's basically in that line, but I do think the sounds it makes within the Desire Driver are pretty cool, and just the fact that basically does its own thing in the Desire Driver is pretty neat, and that you can use it within the Magnum shooter. I I heavily recommend this item overall. I think it's the same price as like a typical, or it might even be cheaper. I think this one might be like $15 or so. Again, I think I got this off of Amazon Japan. Maybe. If only I actually could actually recover that unboxing. But other than that, like, luckily it is cheap because no one wants it because it's a phone toy. But I mean, like, if you're a track completist, then you of course get it. I don't know why you would skip this, especially because it makes one of the most unique sounds within the Desire Driver. And honestly, just messing around with this phone with all the other buckles, I think is pretty neat. Just to see the weirdness and I guess the effort they actually went through of programming this track with all the other buckles and such. Yeah, that wasn't enough for this review because I forgot to literally say. Basically, the way they could have handled, because you can easily take this head off and such, so I feel like they could have easily just supplied a set of like just additional heads for the other riders. I feel like that would have. I feel like that's the only missing thing with this. But again, you can get like customs, or whatnot that just peg in through these screw holes. But I honestly would just prefer just new heads entirely or something like that. But I'll have to do this review because it's too long. This is Ryder. Now leave people. Bye.